Hello, friends, and welcome to Rebel with a cause called to the case, where faith meets justice and we speak life into the silence that surrounds the lost. I'm Kitty, this is Ramsey, and today we're telling the story of Morgan Nick, a 6-year-old girl who went to a baseball game with her mom in 1995 and never came home. This isn't just a missing persons case, it's a mother's fight. A mystery that spans decades and a reminder that God sees what man cannot. Let's sit with this one, not as spectators, but as witnesses, as warriors for the voiceless, and people who still believe that truth matters. Morgan Nick was born on September 12, 1988. Before her name was etched into the headlines and missing persons posters, Morgan Nick was just a bubbly, bright-eyed little girl with an unforgettable laugh and a fierce love for animals. She had the kind of spirit that made people smile, the kind that lit up a room without even trying. Morgan had blonde hair, bright eyes, and a gap-toothed smile. She loved playing dress-up and dancing barefoot throughout the living room in her princess pajamas, collecting bugs and catching fireflies in a jar. And when the Arkansas skies turned pink at sunset, her favorite colors were purple and pink. She adored kittens and cats, cotton candy and cartoons. She was in first grade in elementary school, where her teachers remembered her as kind, curious, and always ready to help a friend. Morgan was especially close to her mom, Colleen. The two shared a deep bond, the kind of mother-daughter connection where words weren't always necessary. They prayed together, laughed together, and dreamed big together. Colleen once described her as having an old soul, wise beyond her years, still wonderfully innocent. She was the kind of little girl who picked flowers for the neighbors and said grace before every meal. A child who brought peace to the world around her, even in her tiny 6-year-old frame. She loved being a big sister. That's who Morgan was before she was taken. A beloved daughter, a joyful friend, big sister, and a precious child of God. That's who we have to remember. Not just the missing poster, not just the mystery, but the little life that was so deeply loved. They were a close-knit family even after her parents got divorced. Colleen made it a point to stay steady, keeping tradition and routines. Morgan was a child still learning how big the world could be. She'd only started asking big questions and still left toys in the hallway, notes on the fridge. She was just 6 years old. On June 9th, 1995, Colleen took Morgan to a Little League baseball game in Alma, Arkansas, just 30 minutes from their home. It was a hot summer night, the kind that holds memories. Kids ran around with soda cans and baseball gloves, and Morgan made friends fast. She asked her mom if she could go catch fireflies with 2 other children. Colleen hesitated because it was dark, but she could see them from her spot on the bleachers, and after a moment, she said yes. Morgan followed the kids to a small embankment near the parking lot, just 50 feet away. They played, they laughed, and at some point, Morgan sat down to empty sand from her shoes. And that was the last time anyone ever saw her. By 10:45 p.m., Colleen looked up and didn't see Morgan. The other kids had come back alone. She was right behind us, they said. She stopped to fix her shoe. Colleen's heart dropped. A few people had seen a creepy man near the kids earlier. A white male in his 40s, 6 foot tall, heavy set with salt and pepper hair, sitting inside a red pickup truck with a white camper. The truck vanished at the same time that Morgan did. Within 15 minutes, the police were on the scene. Search dogs, helicopters, local volunteers, everyone came out. But no trace, no scream, no struggle, just silence. Colleen stayed at the field long into the early morning. She couldn't leave. I don't blame her. She still says she feels Morgan's presence and that sometimes a mother knows when her child is near and when they're not. Billy Jack links in 1995 a name surfacing, a registered sex offender who had once served in the Navy. He drove a red Ford pickup truck with a white camper, exactly matching the vehicle that had been seen that night. He'd been arrested before, attempting to lure a child into his car. He was creepy, predatory, and violent, but there wasn't enough physical evidence to tie him. In 2021, the FBI tested DNA evidence from Link's truck and found fibers that matched Morgan's clothing. In 2023, they announced that many had already feared that Lynx had abducted Morgan, but he died in 2000 in federal prison and was never charged, never interrogated about her disappearance. In the decades that followed, Colleen Nick became a mother on a mission. She refused to let Morgan become a cold case. She founded the Morgan Nick Foundation, which today supports families of missing children all across the country. She partnered with law enforcement, lobbied for new child abduction laws, and pushed for the creation of the Amber Alert system. In Arkansas, it's not just an Amber Alert, it's the Morgan Nick Amber Alert. Her name carries weight. Her memory creates motion. Morgan has never been found, but she is not forgotten. Her face is still on missing persons posters. Her name is on legislation. Her light still stirs something in all of us, something sacred. A reminder that every child matters, that evil doesn't get the last word, and that God sees what man buries. Somewhere in that summer night, something terrible happened, but somewhere deeper still, something divine is unfolding. We may never fully understand why, but we know who to cry out to. And we know that Morgan's name is still spoken in rooms of power, homes of heartbreak, and prayers around the world. If you know anything about Morgan Nick's disappearance, even now, please contact the FBI. Till next time, stay hopeful, stay compassionate, and stay called.